Now that we've talked a bit about social media, we're getting into Facebook and Instagram ads. So welcome to Module 4, Lesson 2. You will discover how your target audience worksheet will help you set the parameters of your ad, what your Facebook and Instagram ad manager looks like, and lastly, I'll walk you step by step through creating an ad. Okay, so we're going to walk through Facebook and Instagram ad manager. So first you want to open up your internet browser and you're going to come up to the address bar and type in ads.facebook.com. So this one right here. Hit enter and you'll come to this website right here. Now this picture in the background may change from time to time. So just to be sure that you're on the right website, in the top left you'll see Facebook Business and in the top right you will see create an ad. Now, since Facebook owns Instagram, you'll be able to set up your ads for both in one convenient location. So we're going to click here on create an ad, and it's going to take us to our ad manager dashboard. In the ad manager dashboard, you are going to see your first stage. So when you're creating an ad, there are 3 different stages. All 3 will be listed here on the left-hand side. The first stage is your campaign, and this is where you're going to be choosing your objective. So you want to think about the goal, what you want your target audience to be doing when they engage with the ad as the end goal. So if you're trying to get them to follow your page, or you're trying to get them to buy something, or you're trying to get them to visit your website, each one of those are different goals, and so you would select a different objective depending on your overall goal for the ad. Your second stage is the ad set stage. This is where you're going to be using your target audience worksheet to choose your audiences, their locations, the budget that you want to spend on your ad, and the schedule so that you can set a specific amount of time for each of these ads to go live. The third stage is the ad stage. This is where you're going to be adding in your copy, your images before you go live with the ad. So this very first part here, the objective, that is where you are first defining your goal of the ad. So what I highly recommend doing is coming here and researching each one of these. When you hover over the different objectives, you'll notice that in the little eye circle for info, more information on what that particular objective will do for you will pop up, and you can always click on learn more to get a really full and thorough understanding of each. Now, obviously, I'm going to take you through a really short summary of these, but obviously with brand awareness, this would be great if you have, for instance, a new company and you want to basically just expose people to your brand. So this would be a great way to get eyes on your studio, to get eyes on your images, and to start getting followers. This next one is a really great one if you want to set a specific location for your audience to go to. So this can be either in Facebook, or if you want it to be to a website, to a funnel, you can have traffic go to any location that you want using something like this. This next one under here with engagement is quite literally what it says. It's getting people to engage with several different areas that you can designate. You can either have them engage with a particular post that you have, you can get them to engage with your page for likes, or you can get them to engage with an event you're having to sign up and have people come to the actual event. This next one, lead generation, is great if you want to gather information from the people that are engaging with your ads. So for example, if you wanted to capture people's emails so that you can grow your email list, this would be a great way to have people to email your newsletter to have people that you can email holiday promotions or different things that are going on in your studio without having to do a paid ad for. So you pay in the beginning for the ad until you get people to sign up with their email, and then you own those emails so you can market to them afterwards without having to pay advertising dollars. This next one here, conversions, is if you want to convert your audience to a buyer. So this would be a great area if you're connecting it to a marketing or sales funnel and you want them to buy now. We'll be talking about funnels in the next lesson, so I'm not going to get into it too much here. So for this demo, we're going to select engagement as a ad, and I'll show you how to set it up. So once you select your objective, you'll notice some more options will pop up directly underneath. And this is where you get to set what type of engagement you want to have, either on a particular post, on your page to get additional likes, or on an event to have people come to the event. So we're going to keep it on post engagement for now. You can name your campaign here. So for this purposes, we're just going to name it Test 1. And then underneath here, you're really not going to play with these just yet. This is when you get a little bit further into Facebook ads, but I'm going to explain what the split test is. So basically, you can create 2 ads and test them to see which one your audience responds to the most. So say, for example, you're trying to get people to like your Facebook page, and you create 2 ads with 2 sets of copy, 2 different images, but the same outcome of liking your page. Then once they both go live, you can look at them in your ads manager to see how they're performing. And once you figure out which one people are responding to the most, you can get rid of the one that isn't doing well and keep the one that is doing well and use that one over and over again. So A/B testing or split testing is a great way to really fine-tune your marketing, speak directly to your audience, and have a clear call to action. So we are going to now click on continue. And this is when you guys are going to need to take out your target audience worksheet. Once again, this is where you are going to be defining where they live, how old they are, their gender, what language you speak, their interests, so many details here so that you can be sure you're hitting exactly your target audience. So this first set up here is your ad set name. And this is just basically another name that you're going to name your ad so that when you do go to see how it's performing in your manager, you can find it easily. So again, I'm just going to name this one Test 1. Then down here for your audience, you have so many options. So you can build custom audiences. You can create audiences based off of locations. You can do so many things with this. If you wanted to pick and create an audience yourself that you can save and use over and over again, you can click Create New, Create Custom Audience, and it will bring you to a set of options. And this is where it gets pretty cool. So you can create an audience based off of traffic on your website, off of a video that you have. You can do it specifically for your Facebook page. So you can literally target people that have been to your Facebook page, their friends that have been to your Facebook page. It's crazy. So I'm just going to click on this as an example. When you click on Facebook page and you want to set your custom audiences to that, it will give you a couple options here where if you have more than one page, you'll just want to specifically put which page you're doing the ad for. And then underneath here, this is where you can say who you want as a custom audience. You can have anyone who visits your page, people who engage with the posts on your page. You can have people who have sent you a message to your page. It's really crazy how you can use this to create targeted ad campaigns. Then from there, you can save it, name it, and then you can use that audience over and over again. So for this, I'm just going to cancel out. And we're going to move on to the locations. So this is really great for setting a specific demographic that is within a certain distance from your studio or a certain distance that you're willing to travel to if you're photographing out of your clients' homes. So if you have a physical studio type, then you're going to be putting in the address of your studio. So I'm just going to pick a random address so that you can get an idea of how this will work. And as I pick that, you're going to notice that this reach here on the side is going to start changing numbers as we dial through each of these different audiences, the locations, their gender, all of that stuff. So as a default, Facebook will automatically put 10-mile radius around the address that you put in. Now, I know my audience is only going to travel within 45 minutes of their home to have maternity or newborn photographs. So I can set within how far I am from my address, that would be 45-minute drive based off of the mile radius around my studio. All you need to do is just simply click and scroll up or down to be able to set the radius around for mileage. So you'll notice if I go up to 50 miles, my reach here on the side will change. If I go down, my reach will change again. So all of this will be specific to you, how far you want to drive or how far you think people would be willing to come to you. So then from there, you can scroll down, and this is where you're going to put in some more specific target audience details that you'll be getting directly from the target audience worksheet that you've already done. So here I know that using my target audience as an example, which most of you will be probably similar to me, is I would be choosing women of childbearing age. So my audience is typically a little bit older. So my audience is between 28 and 40. So again, my reach changes. Again, all women, so I'd be selecting women. I work with people who speak English as a main language. Obviously, if you're from a different country, you can easily put in whatever the native language is to you. And then down here, this is when you get to be really specific. Now, if you remember way back when I was talking about my custom audience, they tend to really have a lot of interest and likes in interior design, health for their family, and just family in general. So here's where you can add in interests and behaviors. So if you notice when I put in interior design, if I spell it right, then a list will pop up underneath here. And interior design is right here. You'll also notice interior design down here as well, but if you look underneath here, you'll notice different categories for it. So these would be employers, job titles. You want to make sure that you have interests. I'm going to also put in health. Again, definitely not employers. You want to look at interests. I'll put in family. Again, scroll down so you can see more. You want to select interest. And that should be good. So you can really be specific and be sure that the people that you want to see your ads are the people who are seeing them and not anybody else. You don't want a man who's 65 years old to be seeing your ads that you have to pay for. You want specific people. You want it to be targeted, you want it to be a clear message, and you want it to feel like it's speaking directly to them. Now, underneath here, this is where we can save this audience and create a custom audience. We can set placements. I like to just keep it on the recommended automatic placement and let Facebook decide where it's placing it based off of my budget. And then underneath here is where you set your budget and you schedule the ad. So you can definitely change the budget that Facebook suggests. Remember, they are in the business of making money. So they're obviously going to suggest a certain amount that they're hoping to make from the ad, but that does not mean that you need to stick with that ad. Right now, this is being set as an ongoing ad. Daily budget would be $11 per day, and it's just running as a set continuous start. If you wanted to put a start date and an end date to it, so if you were, for example, running a promotion, say it was mid-April and you want to run a promotion for Mother's Day that would be coming up soon, you can click on set a start and end date and then put it right in here. It doesn't matter if it's 1 month, 1 week, 1 year. This will just allow you to know that basically your budget is going to end on a certain day and it's not just going to keep charging you and charging you and charging you. So then down here, this is where they're basically going to be telling you here the bid strategy, that it's going to be the lowest cost, that you get charged for impressions, which basically means when people see your ad. And the rest of this is pretty much just left as is. From here, we're going to click continue. And now this is where you're going to be adding in your copy and your images, because you are now in that third and final stage. So because we chose engagement and we chose engagement on a particular post, we're going to need to select which post from our page we're going to use as the ad. So underneath here, this is just basically letting you select if you have a different business page that you want to use. And then you can just highlight the page to make sure that you're working for the right ad for the right business. Here is where you're going to be selecting the actual post. So when you click on this, it's going to basically pull up your insights from your Facebook page, from your Instagram page, any other branded content that you might have. So I'm just going to work underneath Facebook for right now. And this is where you can try and get a post to have a lot of engagement. One that you know people have already been responding to, that you have been showing it to just organically and haven't paid money to get exposure on. So one of the ways that you can see what might be a good post to set an ad for further engagement is by looking at the likes and seeing which ones people are responding to the most, to be able to put advertising dollars towards it to get a further engagement. So I'm going to use this one here as an example. This one was a blog post that I reversed engineered into a social media campaign. It was particular to why newborn portraits should not be DIY. It has some really funny pictures that go along with it, so it had some pretty decent engagement. So I'm going to click on that, click continue, and you're going to get a preview here of what that ad will look like. So from here, before I take you to the preview of each of the different layouts for the ads, I want to just point out that you can do different calls to action here on the left. So if you notice here on the right, when it gives you the preview, you'll see send message. And that's where this send message call to action is going to show up on your ad. But you can also choose to get quote, learn more, shop now. So really, depending on your objective or goal for the ad, you can set different calls to action to get different outcomes. Right now, because we're just basically putting an engagement on here, we'll just leave it at send message, so that if they liked it and they want to be able to engage with us and chat more, they can just click on send message and we'll be able to communicate with them. Then you want to be able to see how this will look in different formats. So right now it's just showing it to you in a mobile news feed. But if you wanted to see how it would look on your desktop feed, if you wanted to see how it would look on Instagram, it will give you all these different previews so you know exactly what your audience is going to be seeing. And then from there, it's as simple as hitting confirm and making the ad go live. I hope this gave you some insights on navigating your ads manager. And in just a little bit, I'll be bringing in the big dogs to tie this lesson and the next lesson all together. And honestly, what they're going to be providing could be a lesson unto itself. But before we get there, coming up next, we're talking about marketing and sales funnels.